Oh, for Christ's sake! Here!
JK. I know it's been a while, fellas, but we're back with another Total Drama Top 10. And by popular demand, I'm ranking the smartest characters this time around. In my previous top 10s, I've prefaced how difficult it is to properly order these characters because Total Drama isn't a show where you can just easily rank these characters based on feats of strength and such. That being said, trying to legitimately order these 10 characters based on intelligence was harder for me than ordering the 10 strongest and 10 weakest. So bear with me here. Starting off at number 10, we have Duncan, an overall strong player with enough mental fortitude to make it past every team merger for the seasons he's competed in. I know World Tour was a tricky case, but I'm counting it anyway. Had excellent planning and leadership skills, getting other contestants to follow his plans more than once because they knew the plans were smart enough to follow, and he rarely fell for other people trying to play him, usually catching on instantly when they tried to do so. Total Drama Action Courtney was the only one able to get him in line at times, and yet he still made it to the finals that season. As for book smarts, the only thing I can think of is when he was smart enough to know the sun rose from the east in the Total Drama Island episode, Are We There Yeti? For number 9, I placed Harold. While not as physically gifted as Duncan, he's definitely smarter. Has oodles of knowledge about wildlife and other cultures, such as knowing why beavers aren't members of the vermin family, and correcting Chris on confusing Chinese and Japanese cultures. Claiming to know everything there is to know about Japan in particular. Hell, that motherfucker was able to crack open a safe lock from underwater. A lot of his mad skills were related to intelligence, so. His biggest blunder in my eyes was letting Alejandro boost his already cocky attitude in his World Tour elimination episode. He was so good at keeping it together in action, but slipped very early the following season. I'm putting Mal down at number 8. Perhaps controversial being this high, but he was able to have almost all of the most powerful first and second gen contestants wrapped around his finger. Cam, Zoe, Gwen, Scott, and even Alejandro. With only Zoe, Cam, Duncan, and Al finding out his true nature before the season finale. Constantly doing evil acts in sneaky enough ways to almost never get caught by the others. I say almost because, well, he did get found out more than once. Al finding the video footage of him, as well as Mal slipping up about Cameron falling in the cave. Not to mention when he thought Mike gave Zoe a bracelet when it was actually a necklace. All of these blunders definitely hurt his chances to completely dominate the competition. At least he can say he's semi-fluent in Spanish.
Puros muertos no hablan.
Dead donkeys don't talk?
The number 7 spot goes to Silent B. While his time on screen was short, just about every moment he did have on screen displayed his incredibly high intelligence. Audition tape included. Dude had a self-help wheelchair that brushed his teeth for him and gave him water bottles, on top of another friendly robot built in his likeness. He arguably had the best problem-solving skills on the entire Toxic Rat team, being the driving force behind all of their early strategies and challenges. Building a rocket sofa, using his teammates' bodies and physics to get the totem pole off the tree, the mirror to try to melt the other team's snow fort. Unfortunately, his biggest weakness being lack of verbal communication was what cost him a higher spot. Just defend yourself, homie, please. For number 6, I put Courtney. She was a CIT. That's it. That's the tweet. In all seriousness, she was smart enough to play both Beth and Duncan during action for decent periods of time. Got Team Amazon to unionize against Gwen with the exception of Cody and I guess kind of Heather. She's an excellent violin player and it's a shame we didn't get to see more of that in future seasons. Just overall solid smarts that got her far in all the seasons she competed in. Her biggest weakness was her very fragile emotions. She could go from super angry to super depressed in the blink of an eye at times, which would lead her into getting played by other contestants like Alejandro or Heather. Speaking of Heather, she takes the number 5 spot. Kind of a similar situation to Courtney, you know, good at reading people and getting them to do what she wants regardless of who they are. Made it far/decently far every time she competed, mainly off her manipulative playstyle. She had such a knack for getting people's attention away from her and onto someone else if that other person made even the smallest mistake. Her biggest blunder, of course, being what happened at All-Stars. Don't even have to mention that at that point. Coming in at number 4 are both Mary and Elodie. Didn't really seem like one was smarter than the other here, so I just put both of them as a unit. I mean, their team is the geniuses after all. It wouldn't make sense for me to not have them on this list at all. Both engineering students who want to raise money for the science community. They fared decently well at the start of the Redonkulous race, being smart enough to figure out what spices they needed for the second challenge and not struggling too hard in France either. What led to their short screen time was their perfectionist outlook on a sandcastle challenge. Going as far as to draw out a big schematic in the sand for how it should be built. Wanting to overachieve isn't necessarily a bad thing, but you can't be wasting too much time in a race competition, unfortunately. Am I crazy, or are the Total Drama contestants that have been established as book smart either get eliminated super early or make it really far? Is it just me? Or, no, okay. On to number 3, aka Alejandro. Fluent in English, Spanish, and Japanese, this man was no joke when it came to brainpower. Having arguably the best manipulation techniques in all of Total Drama, being able to toy with both male and female contestants easily, he was responsible for basically every guy contestant being eliminated in World Tour actually, and for a few of the girls. Whereas someone like Heather was a bit better at playing other girls than just guys. He was also the first person to find out Mal's true nature without knowing him prior to the competition like Duncan, and was clever enough to hide the video of Mal's devious acts in a spot where not even Mal could find it. Truly a force to be reckoned with. I'm putting Scarlett for the number 2 spot. She's essentially Mal with just way better book smarts, being the main mastermind behind most of Max's plans to execute evil deeds throughout Pocketeau Island. She's no stranger to using her own wits to gain leverage in challenges either, like feeding the grease pig pecans or getting on Jazz's shoulders to act big because she knows it'll intimidate a lion, or knowing how fast Topher would hit the ground if Sugar threw him out of the plane. She even stated that when she was younger, she was smart enough to program her brother's toys to attack him every single night for 6 years straight. It's her overconfidence that eventually got the best of her, thinking she was untouchable at one point, but was defeated by her fellow contestants fairly easily. Finally, for number 1, we have Cameron. Not only just as, if not more technologically gifted as B or Scarlett, he proved that using almost nothing but his wits was enough to earn him a spot in the finale of Total Drama Revenge of the Island, and win in its alternate ending. Cam was one of the only contestants to figure out Mike had DID before he made it public himself, and knew how each personality was triggered without Mike even telling him specifics. This dude built an entire Iron Man suit, for crying out loud. That is still one of the coolest things from Revenge of the Island in my opinion. I know Cam didn't find out about Mal on his own, but I want to give him the benefit of the doubt on that by saying his mental state was a bit all over the place that season due to Sierra treating him like a Cody 2.0, and he didn't have the muscle or the heart to confront her about backing off. I'd also like to name a few honorable mentions. Cody almost made the list due to his excellent craftsmanship, like his army knot tie, as well as crafting a boat shaped like Gwen's face. Same with post-head injury Izzy, since she supposedly figured out time travel while she was in that state of mind, and Jasmine for her incredible knowledge on wildlife. Guys, I like Izzy, I swear, you gotta believe me. Sorry if this was shorter than the previous top 10s. For me, ranking physical strength for characters on a show like Total Drama, where one's physical strength is put to the test in challenges more than one's book smarts, felt way easier than ranking intelligence. And even ranking strength wasn't that easy. Maybe if Total Drama had a season that took place in a school setting, it wouldn't be as hard. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like down below. It helps out a ton. But for now, I will see you guys next time. Peace out. Take care. Bye-bye.